Thumb Productions presents the Podlie Podcast. Here's your hosts, Podlie Bill, Podlie Cliff, and Podlie Paul.
And good evening, everybody. Yes, it is Epi 134 of the Podlie Podcast. Good evening, Laura. And William sends his regards. So I'm assuming William can't join us tonight.
Unbelievable.
Yes, unbelievable. Well, as you can see, and I'm going to give you a forewarning, and I'll forewarn you too, Cliff. My internet is really iffy here tonight, and I don't know if it's the wind causing havoc with the tower I have on the top of my house, but it's been jumping in and out here, so you might end up by yourself.
No, my internet is also acting up, so I don't think it's your place particularly. I think it's, I don't know, are you on Shaw?
Yes, no. Out here we are on ExplorerNet, because they provide internet to acreages. So I have like a 14-foot tower that's up on the roof of my house. But when it gets windy, like it is right now, I think it's causing all sorts of havoc. I'm getting all sorts of weak internet notifications popping up here. So you might lose me.
Well, not a problem. I'm having some issues too. It's kind of a little bit spotty here and there. So we'll do the best we can.
We will do the absolute best we can for sure. So if you've noticed, Laura, and we'll wait obviously for other people to jump in here tonight, but it's just Cliff and I. Paul again is not here.
Wally.
Wasn't there something in the fine print that if you it's like strike three?
Yeah, it's like how many, like really, I mean, how many more episodes can the man possibly miss? It's completely and utterly ridiculous.
It's going to become Paul who?
That's right. Hey, Laura, could you speak to him, please? Thank you very much. Hi, Laura.
Anyway,
how goes the battle, Mr. Bill?
Going very, very well, actually. Laura says she was told hello there, Marvin, that Paul was coming back in December. Well, I guess we'll have to wait and see.
Well, we'll see. We might have to renegotiate his contract, however.
I think so. We're going to have to add a lot more fine print in. A lot more fine print. So, going well. I just obviously Mr. Cliff was involved in an event on the weekend.
Hey, listen, I don't know if y'all know or not, but Bill is really old. I'm kidding. Yeah, thanks for having us over, Bill. That was awesome.
I didn't know you were coming over, so thanks for coming.
I know. So it was your lovely wife that arranged a nice little surprise get-together for you and for those listening. It was Bill's birthday rather recently, and his lovely wife basically arranged just a little get-together, and without his knowing. And so we all showed up, and hey, a good time was had by all. It was great fun. Good evening.
Yeah, definitely a fun time for sure, and enjoyed that. And how about you, Cliff? How was your week?
It was good. It was busy last week, and kind of work, same old work, busy, but not as busy as the previous week, as it slowly starts to wind down, as the year slowly starts to wind down a little bit. And and then the weekend just kind of disappeared. I don't know what happens to the weekends. Saturday was busy. We had a bunch of errands that we were running, and of course then come out to your place, and got home relatively late, whatever time it was, I don't know. And then Sunday, I don't know. I don't even know what we had. We had some errands to do and some running around to do, and blink, and it was gone, right? And all of a sudden, it's like, oh my God, Monday morning. I had a whole bunch of sort of paperwork that I had to do over the weekend, which I never quite got to do. I mean, I didn't have to do it, but it was on my list, right? And I didn't quite get to it. So then, of course, this morning I was up rather early and pitter patter, all that type of stuff. So, hello, Chai. Hello, Marvin.
Yeah, Marvin says bumping into Paul. Yeah, it was good to see you as well, Marvin, this weekend at our Ravenwood volunteer session.
Did you come out to the volunteer session, Marvin?
Yes, he did. So it was good to see Marvin as well. And Cheryl's here. Cheryl, we were just talking about the surprise you threw for me on this Saturday, and Cliff coming by. And again, for you all of you that are just joining, both Cliff and I are having some internet issues here tonight. So there might be times you may lose us. or you may lose one of us. We don't know. We're just going to push through. I just got another notification here that my internet is dropping. So we'll do the best, as Cliff said early on. We'll do the best we can to keep this to keep it going.
Got to keep us rolling here. But yeah, even my internet has been a little bit shaky over the whole day, as a matter of fact. So
yeah. So could be this wind and cold weather. I'm not exactly sure what's happening.
Yeah,
so,
I'm not sure what the issue is. I haven't got any like official notice from anybody. It's just that it's been really quite spotty.
Yeah, for sure. So anyway, yeah, like you said, we'll have to rewrite Paul's fine print, I guess, and
we'll have to renegotiate the contract.
I think we'll have to do something there. Yeah. And hey, if you're just tuning in, if you notice up on your screen, there's a little subscribe button up there. So that's just a reminder to subscribe to our YouTube channel, because I think we're only at 18 subscribers. So, we haven't hit anywhere close to our 30 goal yet that we put on for, I think it was what Nicole put that forward, that, we're going to try and everybody's going to try and get 5 subscribers.
And speaking of Nicole, ¿qué pasó? Where is she?
Yeah, we have a very small crowd here right now. Just tonight, very, very small crowd.
Unbelievable. I blame Nicole. I mean, when she was here, right? Yeah. So I blame her in her absentia. Is that right? Yeah, absentia. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
She's been tried and judged and convicted in absentia. Laura, except if you could just pass that on to her, that'd be awesome.
Laura's just the messenger tonight. Yeah, Laura. Yeah, you need to talk to Paul, Laura, and now Nicole.
Well. So yeah, if you could just pass it on, that'd be awesome.
That'd be great.
Not to mention Donna May and Mr. Kirkland. I don't know. Kirkland sends his regards, but I don't know if he had any dedication or commitment to Must Listen Mondays, he would be here.
That's why it's called Must Listen Mondays. That's why you started that clip.
Exactly. So what's the process there, Laura? What's the issue? I'd like to know. Because I will decide if it's serious or not, baby.
That's true. That's true. Laura says she's going to miss the game. Donna May has to get her own YouTube account.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. Donna
May, it's free. It's free.
Yeah. Yes, there is no cost to have a YouTube account. So it's quick and easy.
Quick and easy. Down and dirty, quick and easy. There we go.
You got it. So again, not a lot of viewers, but I did throw a topic up, and again, we can start this, Cliff, and see where it goes. And this came to mind when we were talking about Elon Musk, and here I am bringing his name up after last week.
Oh, Mr. Musk, Laura, hey, Laura.
And we were told we were Elon Musk lovers. So I think we just lost your audio, Cliff. Are you still there? Yeah, can't hear you. Yeah, we've lost Cliff's audio, so I will keep on talking here.
Okay.
No, you are back. Yeah.
Okay, good.
You're back.
Good. I love this microphone, Bill. I bought this Shure microphone some time back. And it's a lovely microphone. It's the MV51 or something like that. It's a USB microphone. My only bloody complaint, and had I known this, it would have been a deal breaker. So any of you out there looking to buy this, here's the deal. It doesn't have the USB-C. It has the old micro USB. And I hate that micro USB. It's constant, never-ending problems. It never fits snugly, right? Mm-hmm. And I swear I'm going to tape the bloody thing up. But to spend $250 on a microphone to have to tape it up is a little bit disconcerting. Nonetheless, the new version of it, they put this USB-C. Of course, I bought it about a month before the new version came out. But it's a great microphone. I mean, I love the microphone. Yeah. It's just that USB, micro USB thing. So I'll tape it up so it's not a problem. But every time I touch it, it goes wacko, right?
Pops out. Yeah. So as I was getting to our topic, Marvin's already jumped in on it. So he read the topic, obviously.
Oh, there we go.
So anyway, we were talking about Elon Musk, and we were talking about the letter that he sent out to all the employees at Twitter, stating, if you don't want to work 12 to 14-hour days, blah, 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 you don't want to work hard, then you're welcome to leave. So we were talking about how, obviously he was figuring out who wants to actually work and who's not interested in working. So that kind of came to the idea of, what do you think, what do you consider is a good boss or a good leader. If you've been a boss or a leader in the past, how did you lead? What did you do? Marvin says regular pay raises are a good start of a good boss.
Okay, but that's not a boss though, Marvin.
That's,
That
that's not, yeah.
that's a function of the company and the function of the budget.
I was just going to say that really has nothing to do with the boss.
Yeah,
So,
it doesn't have. I mean, I could be the greatest boss on the planet, but of course, I have a boss, right? So the pay raise is not dictated by, generally anyway, unless your boss is the owner of the company. Your pay raises are not dictated by your boss; they're dictated by the company and what the company budget is, and so on and so forth. So while I appreciate the comment and the sentiment, I don't think it necessarily describes a good or bad boss, if that makes sense.
yeah, it's very few bosses have the ability to provide an actual raise, depending on how you're leading in your particular company.
Yeah,
I've worked in management before as well. Every time I was in management, I didn't have the ability to say, "Hey, I'm giving you guys a raise today."
Yeah,
that had to go to upper management, right?
Yeah.
So, go ahead.
Or you have a budget that
Yes.
that you have to you have to work within the confines of a budget, and then if you give one person a raise, it comes out of somebody else's pocket, and so on and so forth. So you better certainly in my situation, you're better off to follow the guidelines of the company, because or else you end up taking away from somebody else in order to be able to afford to give somebody else a raise. And I don't think that's fair, because most people within reason are all trying to do their best, and so I don't think anyone should be penalized in favor of somebody else, unless it's a marked difference between where this person is and this person is, in which case they'd be on a different pay scale, or so on and so forth, depending on the company, of course.
Right. Now the boss may have, and I know Chai is a director at the organization she works for, so she has a team under her, and she can't recommend raises. I mean, she can't just give out a raise to her team. But on the flip side of that, as a boss, you could go to upper management and put a recommendation in if you feel somebody's going over and above what they should be doing, and they're just fantastic. Maybe it's a promotion that you think they deserve, or so you could always can reach out. But yeah, as Marvin, most bosses in management, I never had that ability to just say, "Hey, I'm giving you a raise today." If I had did that, I would have had the upper management on my back. What are you doing?
What are you doing? Yeah, and I mean, there's so many different sort of methods of management, right? I mean, there's a lot of people that are very autonomous managers. They like to, this is what you do, and you have to do it because that's what they say. And then there are people that don't like any deviation from the rules that they themselves perhaps set out, etc. And then there are other managers who are much more collaborative, and I fall in that category. I'm a very collaborative type person. Because I respect the views, and not just respect, but I want the views of everybody, because hey, I'm one mind versus the mind of the whole team. As far as I'm concerned, the mind of the whole team is obviously and forever better than the mind of one. And so hence I'm a very collaborative manager. I was like that in just about all the management positions that I've had. And I think for me, I think working side by side with people is much more preferable than working as the boss. So if you work side by side with people, it becomes a team effort. Even if you're working with one person in the team, it becomes a team effort. It becomes a collaborative approach to solving the problems that are necessary. And let's face it, every job, life itself, is a series of problems that need to be solved in such a way that leads you forward, right? I mean, so life itself is such that. So the same thing could be said about a good boss, is that he or she accommodates the solving of problems day to day, and accommodates the person's needs and desires and whatnot within the scope of their work environment. If that makes sense. And I like the motivator part. I like the fact that I get to know the people that I'm working with. And so I understand if they tell me that so and so is the case and my 2-year-old's got an issue. Well, I already know about the 2-year-old. I already know that perhaps this 2-year-old is going through some issues. So now I can be on their side. I mean, I still have to run the business. I still have to run the team. I still have to do all of those things. But at the same time, I can understand when somebody says, "Hey, listen, this has to happen." because it's my family. But if you know these people just a little bit, take the time to really listen to them and understand who they are as people and what motivates them, then I think that makes you a better boss in so many ways. And that's only part of
Yeah, no, I agree. And Marvin says, I get your point,
it.
but also agree that a good boss will stand up on your behalf of your team members that are deserving and or not recognized. So yeah, no, agree with
Agreed.
that, Marvin. Like I said, yeah, a good boss can definitely go to upper management and say, hey, Marvin's doing a fantastic job, and I think we either need to look at giving him a raise or promotion or whatever the case might be.
Yeah.
Laura
And
says
then,
she likes a boss who,
so sorry, I was just going to say, Bill, and that's what you said earlier on, right? I mean, you can go
yeah,
to bat for individuals, you can go to bat for your team. Um, but even though you might not have the autonomy to give out raises, you might not have autonomy to affect the budget. Fact of the matter is,
mhm,
you can go to bat for them, and that's and as far as I'm concerned, that's one of the tenets about of being a good boss is that. And I mean, middle management is difficult, right? Middle management, you're working under the constraints of higher management, but at the same time, you get it from both sides, right? Because the
yeah,
employees are asking you for things or talking to you about things that perhaps you can't affect because upper management will not give in, right? Or will not,
yeah,
or doesn't feel the same way. And then at the same time, you still have to maintain productivity in order to keep the upper management satisfied. And I mean,
mm,
Bill, I'm sure you've been in middle management. That's one of the challenges, right? So you can go to bat for people, but that doesn't mean to say, like I went to bat for a lot of people, and some of them were um, some of them resulted. Some of those times resulted in positive outcomes, and some of
mhm,
them didn't. Right, and those that didn't, often the employees thought, well, oh, he went to bat for these people, but he never went to bat for me. No, I did. I did. If you're on my team and we are a team and you're treating me with respect and you're treating the job with respect, then I will give that back. And I do. But sometimes it doesn't work out. And that's the challenge of being in middle management, right? And I was just going to say what
yeah.
Marvin said about going to bat, but that's exactly what you said, right? So
Yeah, no, for sure. Laura says she likes a boss who listens to every employee. Chai's jumped in with a few comments here. She says, I'm the boss at my organization, and then I have a boss at the other organization I work out of. A similar theme is transparency, so our teams know what is happening. And personally, she loves giving my teams a chance to provide feedback on projects, new policies, reviews, etc. Then she said, however, she was recently told that she works from a collaborative lens, and that's not the best route. Struggling with that now, not sure what leadership style that she should pursue. So apparently, being told by her upper management that collaborative management is not the best route to
yeah.
go.
Well, Chai, I don't know if you heard the conversation a couple minutes ago. I was just saying that that's one of my go-to methods, the collaborative method of management. And I must admit, it is a challenge because some people see collaborative management as weakness. Some people see collaborative management as strength. And the fact of the matter is, those who see it as weakness, I think perhaps the manager has to recognize that and alter and change and adjust how they work with those particular people. But honestly, in my mind, collaborative management uh, often leads to better team environment. And again, it depends obviously on the team of people, because if these people consider collaborative management as weak, then they will try to take advantage of it. And I guess that's where those of us who perhaps favor collaborative management have to learn to draw the line and have to make sure that everybody understands that this type of management that you're seeing right now from me is a choice. I choose
Mhm.
to manage this way. Should that not be effective, I'm going to adjust accordingly, right? Either be
Right.
it with individuals or be it with the whole team.
Yeah. Yeah, no, makes sense as well. I think that's the way I tend to work in a management style as well, is more on the collaborative side, because like you already said, Cliff, if you are getting feedback from your team and or suggestions and thoughts, it doesn't hurt, right? Because
Right.
they might think of something that has the leader or boss you didn't think of
Right.
that is a benefit to their position and or to the job or organization, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's a
Whereas,
matter of perspective, right? I mean, they have a different
right.
perspective than you do, perhaps.
Yeah, if you come in like, some bosses with the micromanagement style, which is looking at everything that you do, and you need to report every day, and provide information everything that you're doing every single day from this time to this time, and
Yep.
then they want you to call in at certain times because they want to know what you're doing and where you are, and that's a little harder to take.
Very hard to take, especially for a guy. I don't
Yeah.
know. I'm probably positive I'm speaking for you as well, but it's very hard,
Yes,
very difficult for people like us to take, right?
it is. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'll tell you, Bill, I worked for a company called Granada back in my younger days, as electronic service technician. It's funny, we were just talking about
Mhm.
that. And we used to, at one point, I think I mentioned to you, I was fast. Myself and my friend, my friend tech, his name is Robert, Robert as well. He was very quick, and him and I used to take a mitt full of calls, and more than
Mhm.
anybody else would do. And we'd go and do that, and we would do all these calls, and we would be very good at it. And all the key stats, meaning the in-home fix-it ratio and yada yada yada,
Right.
we're all very good and we're all perfect because we carried the right equipment. We made sure we found out what the common faults were, yada yada yada. So long story short, we were very good at what we did, and we always did more than what technically the company expected. And how the company set the expectations was because they had unions in Ontario, which worked to our benefit and sometimes to our detriment, right? But based on
Mhm.
those negotiations, our workday volumes were set. Well, my friend Robert and I, we would take a mitt full of calls, and we'd go and we'd enjoy doing it quickly. And at the same time, we'd enjoy some free time for coffee and whatnot. Well, this
Mhm.
manager comes in, God of operations, and then he installs this run sheet. He called it
Yeah.
a run sheet, right? Which, of course, right away to me, that's like, okay. But so this run sheet where you had to write down everything you did. So of course, for the first of all, I'm like, yeah, whatever. Hey man, it's just a couple of seconds, right? So I would
Mhm.
write down this call, that call, yada yada yada. But then that wasn't good enough. Then they wanted, oh well, when did you take your break? Oh, when you this, oh, when you that. So that's when I got pissed. And I started writing
Yeah.
down everything, stuff that people don't necessarily want to know.
Went to the bathroom at this time.
Exactly, right? And I started writing that down minute for minute, right? And walk from the house to the car. Wrote this entry, wrote this log entry that took 40 seconds, and so on and so forth. So I had like pages and pages every day, and of course that took an hour or so. Which of course, if they added it up,
Right.
they would know that he spent an hour doing this. And
Mhm.
so that's how we got around it, because both Robert and myself, we did it. And then we talked to the other few technicians to do it. And pretty soon everybody was doing it. So now the actual jobs were lost in the lists and lists and lists of things that we did. So the manager had to go through and now decipher exactly what it is that mattered, what was on the list that actually
Right.
mattered. Well, I tell you
Yeah.
what, that didn't last long. it lasted,
The
it lasted
manager or the paperwork?
no, the paperwork. It lasted for
Yeah.
about 3 weeks, and that was it, right? So
Yeah.
micromanagement like that, I don't know. Like I don't know the purpose of it. I don't know I don't know the possibility of it being any good. I can't see it. If I have to micromanage a teammate or whatever you call it, or a person who is subordinate to me, if I had to micromanage them, I'm just giving myself work. I'd much rather not have that person on my team.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, for sure. And as Laura says, not a fun of micromanagement, causes spiraling, which it can for sure.
really
If you've got somebody who can do the job and is doing it well, you don't need to be over their shoulder every 10 minutes. What are you doing now? What are you doing now? Give me a report, right?
It's like my 4-year-old
Definitely going to
nephew.
lose. Yeah. Yeah.
My 4-year-old
What's happening
nephew.
now? Are we there yet?
Yeah, he'd walk up to me and go, "What you doing?"
Yeah. Yeah. And then 5 minutes later, what are you doing?
What you
What are you
doing?
doing now?
Yeah, exactly, right? So
And Chai says, that's been my experience to have my team feel they are valued. I see both sides and going to have to adjust. So now it will be a bit challenging. Laura says, it's too bad you have to adjust instead of incorporating both as long as it works. Yeah. So definitely,
yeah, I'd like to address that, Laura. That's one of the things, right? Because it's funny, when I was general sales manager at the Brit, I had a really good time and I had a really good team for the most part. But then what happened was, there were some issues at West Edmonton Mall, so then I was asked to go to West Edmonton Mall and spend some time there, and then of course South Common, and these are big stores, and there's a lot of people. That there's a tremendous amount of people, and what I found was the stuff that worked because I had a smaller team at Edmonton downtown, and a great team. What a fantastic team of people, a certain type of collaborative management worked very, very well because these people were committed to the job, not to the company, but to us as a team being great, right? Which then, of course, leads to commitment to the company. So it's a win-win situation, and these people were so committed to the best that they could do for the team as a whole that we did so well. But it was always collaborative management because I didn't have to do anything else because everybody was on side. It became a matter of motivation, consultation, motivation, adjustment of how we do things, but how we do things as a team. And then when I was filling in like 3 months at Western Mall, big store, man, I tell you, the challenges are vastly different, right? All of a sudden, collaborative management, like I said earlier, there's a bunch of people that see it as a weakness. And now you're forced to have to bring these people up to speed and make them understand that this is a choice. This method of management is a choice. If you don't like it and you don't wish it to be that way, well, hey, listen, we could be micromanagement if we want. We could be very strict if we want. But I tell you what, don't ever expect the same courtesies that the other people get. Right. And honestly, when it came down to me, it actually affected the pocketbook directly because at the Brick, people are on commission, and I would go into every sale and assist with every sale. And so then obviously 2 people and an experienced person such as myself, we would up the level of the sales, which would equal better commissions, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Right. So it was the yardstick or the measuring stick or the metric was very quickly visible. Right. And I think that changed minds, Laura. So yes, it's too bad that we can't incorporate both. Fact of the matter is, it's very difficult if all the people on the same team are not of the same mind. It's very difficult and it doesn't work.
Yeah, definitely makes it hard, whether it's your sales team or your upper management team. Yeah, makes it very, very difficult, especially if you have that rapport, with, like you said, with your sales team, for an example.
Exactly.
Upper management is saying, yeah, but you need to, we need to see you doing it this way. And then you have to go to the sales team and you're trying to make those adjustments. And the sales team loses confidence in your leadership at that point because they're saying, well, what direction is this guy going in?
Exactly.
We were doing this and it was working well, but now he's saying we have to do this. Now, I don't know what I'm exactly supposed to be doing or how I should do it or whatever the case might be. Or, maybe you're not allowing the same feedback you used to allow simply because you've been told that's not the way to do it. So, yeah, it's definitely, different ways of leadership for sure. And different companies do it different ways. You look at the automotive business. I kind of laugh when I say that, but, I think there's guys that do very, very well in car sales. Sure, so I'm not knocking it. I'm not knocking it in that respect. But you do have that used car salesman mentality, which we've all heard. Oh, that guy's a used car salesman, right? Just by the way he talks and approaches you and that kind of thing. So again, is that leadership? Is that the way the guy has been trained? Compared to the more consultative type,
right.
salesman in a car dealership, which is kind of the guys that I would prefer to deal with.
And what's the culture of the company, Bill, right? Because the culture of the company trickles down, right, to the employees, right? Show me, I don't know, like, you show me a used car salesman type at the top and I'll show you the whole team basically reflect that, right?
Of course. Yeah, they would be, just the same way. I prefer to walk into a car dealership and not have somebody jump in my face.
Correct.
And, start, hey, what are you doing? Hey, look at this, we got to get you into this or get you into that or, on and on and on. Like, let's just chat and give me an opportunity to look around and get a feel for what I'm looking at. And, where some of these guys is obviously, as soon as you walk in and with any type of sales job, I'm sure it's the same at the Brick. You see a client walk in, you're going to approach them and find out
approach them.
But you also, I think it's nice if you give them that little bit of space as well, right? And the same with the car guy. Sometimes the guys will give you a little bit. Yeah, they say, hey, okay, I'll give you a couple minutes, and then we'll chat again, take a look, and see what you think, and then we'll have another chat and figure something out. Where the guys, the other guys will be on your shoulder the whole time, and you walk over here, there, you turn around, he's right there, and you walk over here, he's right on the other side of your shoulder. You say, I'm going to the
kidding. With a guy like me. with a guy like me, I thought it was profiling. I'm kidding. That's seriously a joke. That's seriously a joke.
Yeah,
But I understand. I understand perfectly, right? And one of the things that I always do to talk to my team about, the salespeople about, is that you have to acknowledge people. You have to
yeah.
make sure that
Oh,
they understand that they've been acknowledged, they've been
yeah,
welcomed, and then make sure they understand that they have the freedom to spend as much time as they want. And you're there basically to ensure that all of their questions are answered.
yes, yeah,
And when I was actually a salesperson on the floor, if I went up to somebody and said, "Hi, how are you?" or whatever the case may be, and they gave me any kind of, kind of put up that barrier as though I'm trying to
right,
be a salesman or something, I would tell them straight, "Hey, listen, I just want to make sure you understand that you're welcome in the store, and I'm here to answer any questions you want. And you know what?
yeah,
If you just want to go look around, I'll keep an eye on you. Go ahead. And if you
yeah,
have any questions, I'd be happy to be there to answer them." And often that would disarm any kind of
I
thought
think-
that they had that this guy's gonna to be a salesman, right? And I used to joke later on, a lot of these people, once I got to know them in that process, in that sales process,
yeah,
I would joke with them that I don't have the ability to come and take your wallet out of your pocket and run your credit card through. You actually have to agree to this.
sure.
So and look at the time, you folks. So hey, listen, it's 32 minutes in, so it's late again, Bill, but nonetheless, good
2 weeks in a
evening.
row.
That's right, 2 weeks in a row. Nonetheless, to all you listening and to all the lovely people online chatting with us, good evening
Yeah.
and welcome to the middle of the podcast.
Laura says her mom ran into issues with her boss when she started. Cliff is the middle of the podcast.
That's
It is.
so funny.
Thanks, Laura.
Laura, he pegged it. Laura says, if you're not watching this, Laura says, "Cliff, it is the middle of the podcast." Thanks, Laura. Sorry, Bill. Go back to
Yeah.
what you were reading.
Laura was just saying that her mom ran into issues where her boss started micromanaging her
Ah,
only because in some regards, he was trying to cook the books, but she wouldn't do it. There's some bosses
ah,
like, oh, well, yeah.
yeah.
And then Laura says her recent store managers thank her for her work on a regular basis. My last one used to buy me lunch from time to time, which is great. If
Yeah.
you want to give that positivity to your team, if they're doing a great job, you got to let them know they're doing a great job, right? And there are some leadership out there that don't, right?
Hey,
And you're
man.
not sure if you're doing a good job or not.
I tell you what, I can show you my credit card bills and my. Uh, this is funny, guys. I promise you, this is true. You can ask if Jeremy's online. Sometime you can ask them, and I'll say this out publicly so everybody knows it's not a lie. I'll tell you what. There were a whole bunch of people that knew the PIN number for my debit card because almost on a daily basis, I would give them my debit card and they'd go bring X number of coffees and whatnot. But I would just give them my debit card. Most of the people who were the travelers who'd like to go and do this stuff, such as, I don't know, Sheena and Tegan and Jeremy and all these people, they all knew my PIN number, right? Because I used to give them my credit card to go get coffee. And again, I never got reimbursed for that. It was because these people were great and these people deserved to have that thank you in a physical, demonstrative way, right?
Yeah,
So yeah, I'm with you, Laura. A little bit of this stuff goes a long way. I mean, it cost me a significant amount of dollars over the time, I'll tell you, but nonetheless, you know,
but in
to
the long
each,
one, it's worth it.
to each person, it's a little thing, right? I mean, it's a cup of coffee, but to me, paying for all of them over so many days, it does add up, and no doubt about it. But the fact of the matter is, the team was so great, that it was worth the expense, right? So.
Yeah, no, for sure. And like we said, that in the long run, it is worth it because as a
Right.
team member, you feel valued.
Yeah, and I
You
tell
know,
you what, didn't make me any more money, right? Because I was on salary.
yeah,
There were year-end bonuses and stuff like that, but didn't really make me any more money. But what it did was it made my life easier, right? Because we were all on the same team. I didn't have to lean heavy on people. There were no, I think in all the time that I worked there, I think I fired 2 people, and believe
mhm,
me, they deserved it because it's the last thing I ever wanted to do was fire anybody.
right.
And so I fired 2 people, but that's in 5 years. I
Yeah,
mean, that's a long time. So
that is.
so yeah, so I'm all about the keeping the team in the harmony. I'm all about harmony. I don't like conflict. I'm not a conflict person. As a matter of fact, I get very grumpy in conflict. I tend to go overboard because I don't
Mhm.
like it. And I tend to charge sort of thing, and sometimes I go overboard,
Right.
and that scares me because I don't want to be that person. So, but at the same time, I hate conflict, and that's why I do it. And it's such
Right.
it's such an ironic, it's such a not ironic, but paradoxical thing, right? I hate
Mhm.
conflict. So when I do get into it, I go full board, get it done with, right?
Right.
As opposed to drag it out, and because I hate it so much. So it's paradoxical. So I would much rather have peace and harmony
Yeah.
within the work environment, and I would give up a lot for that. To be honest with you, I would give up a lot for harmony in the workplace because
Mhm.
I take things personally in I guess in a good way. I mean, right? So
Right.
so harmony in the workplace to me is a much prized thing. And so
Right.
if when I found a team of people that were of the same mind and willing to work and willing to help each other and willing to motivate each other and willing to take advice when necessary or take criticism when necessary if it was given in the right way, then we'd have a team that was in harmony, and we'd have a team that was fun, and we'd have a team that was successful, right?
Yeah.
So in terms of that, I don't know. Cheryl mentioned earlier, Chai mentioned earlier about collaborative management. I don't know. In so many ways, it depends on the organization and how much autonomy the boss has, right?
Mhm. Yeah, no, for sure, and yeah, and I think as you said, it's a good thing. The company that I work for now, sent out a note a couple of weeks back, probably about 3 weeks back, and saying, "Hey, everybody, here's the amount that you can spend on a Christmas gift for yourself,"
Huh.
uh, and and they said, "Just you send in or decide what you'd like," and so my company bought me a tablet for a Christmas gift.
Nice.
So things like that are definitely really nice when they do that. And by the way, again, if you're just joining us, we have not fired Paul. So at least not yet. We got to read the fine print.
Chai says, Cliff, Cliff, Cliff. What's she say? Cliff, Cliff,
I,
Cliff. I
I
don't
I
get
do
it.
need a new car. Can I use your debit card?
Oh,
She wants
I don't think it'll go
to-
through. Yeah, but I tell
uh,
you what, next time Jeremy's on, ask him because he used to be one of the runners as well that used to go get coffee quite often. Um,
yeah.
but yeah, it's quite funny. People used to laugh at me that I just had even customers, because I'd be on the sales floor, being a manager, and then one of the people come, hey Cliffy, I'm going for coffee, right? And it's like, pull the card out, here you go. And the customers would laugh at me. It's like, they know your PIN number. Like,
Then
well, yeah.
I need to ask you this, Cliff.
What's that?
Do you ever notice lately that, hey, wait a second, why is there 4 coffees? And then you realize Jeremy's out helping himself.
What's funny is I left the brick and I didn't change the number for a good probably 2 years.
Yeah.
But that tells you the kind of people that obviously I made the right decision in trusting these people, right? Because while it cost me a lot of money for coffees and donuts and whatnot, nobody ever ripped me off.
That's good. I was just curious. Like you said, you look and realize that Jeremy's sitting there drinking he's got a couple of coffees and an ice cap or whatever with
And,
him.
that's right.
Where'd you get those, Jeremy? Well, thanks, Cliff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So remember that PIN number you told me a couple of years back?
Yeah, exactly, right.
Laura says, haha, oh, Cheryl. And Cheryl says she tries. Which, by the way, I should say, I should be saying chai as well.
Chai,
So
it's chai.
it's chai. It is chai.
Well, okay, but
So
in your defense, Bill, in your defense, not that
yes.
I need to defend you, but in your defense, the chai has to change the name on the board, the name that shows up on the board, right?
That's right. There you go.
Right.
Then
So
that would be
chai,
much easier.
exactly,
Yeah.
because obviously there's a disconnect now because we see one name, but we're required. Okay, well, we're not required, but nonetheless,
We're doing
we are requested to use a different name. Well, that's a little bit of a disconnect that's like, the old color quizzes or whatever. They say you have a strong mind if you can see the color red, but then the color red is written in blue typing. And one of the quiz says you have to, the writing is correct, so you have to ignore the color. Or one of the quizzes says
Right.
the color is correct, so you have to ignore the writing. So you have to look at something written in red right? And but
Mhm.
the word is blue, but it's written in red, and you have to.
Yeah,
So it's quite an interesting mind thing. It's quite an interesting brain thing. So that's what
for sure.
we. That's the problem that we. This is one of the challenges that we face, Chai.
And just so you know, we're doing Cliff and I are doing some collaborative management here.
That's right. What that means is Bill and I are going to collaborate and collude, okay, and side with each other to
Yeah.
cajole you into changing your name on the board here.
No, but Laura says we're here's the part of the podcast where we deviate from the topic. LOL. We haven't deviated. We're
We
talking.
haven't deviated.
We're still talking collaborative management here
Exactly,
with Chai.
Laura.
Yeah, we're managing our viewers.
We're managing our viewers. Exactly, and it's collaborative because we know we're requesting, right? If we were micromanaging, we would say it's spelt CHY.
Yeah, we'd be saying, Laura, I need another 5 comments from you in the next 3 minutes, please.
Yeah, Laura. And what
Yeah.
happened to Nicole?
Yeah. Well, apparently Nicole's watching the hockey game and she doesn't have a YouTube account.
Unbelievable.
Oh no, that's Donna.
That was
That's
Donna
Donna May. Sorry, Donna
Okay,
May's
so-
watching the hockey game and doesn't have the YouTube account, but I don't know where Nicole is. Yeah,
So
Laura,
what's
you got to
Nicole's
mention
excuse?
again.
I-
What kind of management style do we have to use with Nicole?
Cheryl says, Chai says, just a little car, Cliff. Just a little one.
Just a little tiny. I don't know. Yeah, what are the little
Fiat.
British cars?
A little Fiat.
Yeah, there you go.
Well,
Little
it's not
Fiat.
British, but nonetheless, a little Fiat.
No, Fiat's not. But
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, yeah, an Aston Martin would be nice. But
yes.
Yeah.
That's for sure. I was expecting though that if Chai were to do that, you'd want to drive it as well, then, Cliff.
oh yeah. Oh man, or a Triumph TR6. Man, I got to drive one of those. Oh man, so much fun.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, we haven't really deviated, Laura. We are still talking management styles.
Yeah,
So,
Laura.
Yeah. She keeps messaging her sister. I keep messaging my sister, yet all I got is she is at home.
Unbelievable.
Well, if she's at home, she should be tuned in then.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's
She has any
at that point,
commitment or
there's
dedication.
yeah, we're moving away from the collaborative management style with Nicole. I can see that for sure. We have to micromanage Nicole, I think.
Yeah, we're gonna go to the what do you call it? Yeah, I have to think about it. But anyway, yeah, we'll have to be very forward thinking and pushy.
Yeah, the operative word there is pushy.
Is pushy. Yeah, she was the one that was gonna go and
she was doing the challenge of getting more subscribers for it.
Exactly. I don't know what happened there, man. That's
and
ridiculous.
we got one new subscriber this week because we were at 18 when I last looked, and I thought we were going to be at 30.
Wow,
So.
Bill, we're just banging rock and roll, man. 18. Oh my God.
Yeah. we get one a week.
I know, right? I know.
Right. And Laura says, right. Where is the people, LOL? So you're right, Laura. Nicole said she was putting that challenge forward that all of our viewers would have to bring in 5 new subscribers.
Unbelievable. Blows my mind, man. I think we're going to have some sort of a contest, Bill.
Maybe. Or a management meeting.
Yeah. Anybody who gets 5 subscribers gets my PIN number for
for a coffee.
For a coffee.
No. Chai says, if you can fix it, I'd be much happier. What are we fixing?
Yeah, what are we fixing? What did I miss? The little car?
We haven't got the little car yet.
We haven't got the little car yet.
If you get a little car that needs to be fixed already, then it's maybe not the car we should have bought.
Hey, speaking of little cars, you guys have any preferences? Like if you were to say, hey, listen, what a great little car is, used or whatever, preferably used. Any thoughts on a good one that's fun to drive and not terribly gas guzzling and so on and so forth and relatively reliable? Anybody have any thoughts?
I'm thinking of no, I can't. It's the small little British car. Now Chai would probably chime in because she looks at them every time she's going, oh, I should get one of those.
Oh, seriously? Oh, an MG. Oh, I'd love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chai
Yeah.
says an MG. I would love that, Chai. I love those little. I tell you what, a friend of mine, uh, his dad had this green British Racing Green MG, and it matched his British Racing Green Jaguar. And I tell you what, such a beautiful, beautiful car. That's one of my favorite cars.
Yeah. So, something like that. And sorry, I'm just jumping back to Laura. Laura says, when you get 100 people, I think you guys get a small paycheck. LOL. Actually, we have to get to 1,000 people, Laura, before any,
Yeah, and then I think the paycheck is 1,000 cents.
yeah, yeah, it's 1,000 pennies. So
Maybe, I don't know. I don't think it's that much. I don't think it's that much.
yeah, apparently Laura's says that her sister's house has decided to go to bed early this evening due to people waking up at 3 a.m. for work.
Whoa.
Wow. That's definitely early for work, but it doesn't mean you can't lay in bed and watch the
Exactly. It doesn't mean to say that all of a sudden you can't commit. You don't have any commitment or dedication to the show.
yeah. Yeah. So
Okay, so Laura, you tell her she needs to listen to this later, and all the torturing we're doing now, we actually mean it.
yeah. Laura says 1,000 people. We better get sharing. Yeah.
Yeah, better chop, Laura.
So, but yeah, small cars. Yeah, little MGs are cool. Not that I'm a real fan of the small cars, but I don't mind some of the small sporty cars.
Yeah.
The ones that I never liked and never understood was the smart car. Now I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but I see people who've bought the smart car. Those things scare me. I always think, man, if you get in an accident in those things, and supposedly they have a decent safety rating, but if you get in an accident in those things, I don't think you're getting out.
I don't care what safety rating they have. You're going to go up a Dodge 2500, you're going to get squashed.
Yeah.
Right? It doesn't matter what safety rating you got. Another thing I found out about the smart car is they're slow.
Yeah.
Like, no, I'm seriously, they're very slow. They have no option at all.
I only laugh because I've seen them on the street and I've had to pass them.
Yeah, they have no option. So in my mind, if you're going to give me a small car that's dangerous, you better give me the ability to get out of the way.
Yeah.
Right? And the problem is they don't. They're not very fast at all. An MG, on the other hand, or a TR6 on the other hand, or an Aston Martin on the other hand, at least I'll be able to get the hell out of the way, right?
Yeah. Like, how do you drive a smart car on the highway? And you're going to get passed all the time, and you can't pass anybody. So what if you get on just a single or dual lane highway and you're behind a semi in a smart car?
Yeah, and
I guess you're driving behind the semi the whole way.
You're not passing. You're not passing. I promise you.
Yeah.
Mind you, if you get close enough to the semi and get in his wake, in his wind wake, you won't use any gas at all.
Yeah, no, for sure. Hey, look at Marvin's commitment. He was up at 3 a.m. this morning editing a project before work, and he's here.
Look at that. Unbelievable.
Yeah. Yeah. And he says a smart car was said to be like driving a go-kart on steroids.
No, I don't think so. I think a go-kart should go faster.
A go-kart would probably pass a smart car. That's what I was just going to say.
I'm joking, Marvin. I'm joking, but yeah.
So, go ahead, Cliff.
I was just going to say what Chai says is, she says, and I quote, "My name on YouTube!" ! Well, yeah, that's your name on YouTube, but it's not the right name. We have a disconnect here. What we're seeing in print is not what we are requested. It's not the name you request to go by. So that's
right.
The disconnect. And Laura says they're horrible little cars. Which ones, Laura?
I think it's
smart cars.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know though. I actually know two people who own smart cars, and they seem relatively enamored with them. They seem quite happy with them. I mean, they're way too slow for me. There's not a chance I would buy one of those because I mean, never say never, Bill. But the fact of the matter is, they're small and they're slow. So if you're going to be small, then give me speed, right?
Yeah, I'd be curious what they're like on winter roads. Be curious if any of our viewers knows somebody that has one. What's it like when we get now that we're into winter? What are they like?
Well, they don't start properly. No, because like I said, I know two people, and one of the issues that they don't start very well. They're not very great, but they're okay on the road. It turns out they see like winter tires on them, and they're okay on the road. But the problem is the cold. They don't start very well, and so on and so forth. So I don't know, but that's just one person, right? I mean, that's not one person a survey does not make. So
Yeah, for sure. And it's funny. I've seen a couple of people in smart cars where I think I saw one. This was a little while ago. Smart car go by, and I looked over, and the guy that was in the smart car must have been like 6'5",
Huge.
but he squished in there behind the wheel. I'm thinking, that can't be comfortable, but obviously he wanted a smart car.
Bill,
It's okay for you and I.
the first time I saw that, the thing that came to mind, and the younger people won't remember this, was Police Academy. Do you remember? I don't know his
Yeah.
name in the show, but the big, tall, black dude, right? I think that was Police
Yeah.
Academy, and where he
I think it
rips
was
out the
Police
front
Academy.
seat of the Toyota Civic.
So he can sit and drive.
of the Honda Civic, yeah, he rips the front seat out and he sits in the back seat and drives. But that's what it reminds me of. The first thing I thought of was that, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Well, and you think of tall people. As we mentioned early on, Chai put a surprise party on for me on this past Saturday, and of course, one of our guests, Candace's partner, was there, and he's 6'5", I think he said.
Yeah, he's pretty tall.
So we did kind of a group picture at the end of the night. And made Cliff and I feel like little kids. It really showed how vertically challenged we are.
That's right. I mean, let's put it this way: he could be Gandalf, and we could be the hobbits. Like,
Yeah,
seriously.
no, definitely in that picture standing beside him for sure. So, but anyway, yeah. Well, hey, Laura, we have veered off topic now, but for a good 45 minutes, we stayed on topic tonight.
Yeah, Laura, so you have to give us kudos for that at least.
Yeah. Laura says there was a surprise party. Yes, Chai threw me a surprise party on Saturday for my birthday. So
yes, surprise, you weren't there. Unbelievable.
Yeah, surprise. Yeah, Cliff, Leslie Ann was there as well, and quite a few other people came by. Like Cliff said, it was a fun evening. Big surprise for me. Really enjoyed it, and it
was nice. I mean, sit around, jibber jabber, chat a little bit, have some good grub. It's good.
Yeah, definitely fun. And Chai says, which is why the name needs to be changed. Yeah, there must be a way to. I wonder if you can adjust your name.
You can, especially now. Just recently, YouTube actually brought out a program where you can choose your own handle.
There you go. So maybe you can adjust your name. She says she can't figure out how to change it. So now you're stuck with Cheryl.
No.
Remember back in the days when we used to be able to do this?
Oh yeah, look at that.
See, when Paul's not here, we can do it.
That's right. Yeah.
We can show everybody the comment.
Then can you remove the sidebar, Bill, or no? If you put the comments in the center, can you give it full screen or no?
The comment or us?
No, us. Because then if the comments come below, then you should be able to go full screen.
Yeah, I'm just playing with the layout here. Oh, that's just me. So it looks like no.
Looks like no. Yeah, no worries.
That's the closest we can get. So the comment. So when there's two of us on the screen, the comments look good. If there's three of us up there, then the comments always take out the bottom person, right? So.
And so Laura says, applause for staying on topic. Thanks, Laura.
Thanks, Laura. Laura says, I'm just having fun putting these up now because we haven't done this in so long. And Paul's not here, so I can put them up.
Do it. Keep it up, Bill.
Yeah. I'll need to adjust my handle.
Do it, Laura. What are you going to adjust it to? That's the question. Hello, Marvin.
Yeah. I have a hard time fitting many vehicles, but I was surprised I fit really well on a Kia Soul. Haven't tried a smart car yet. Yeah, Kia Soul's not a big car.
Dude, I really like the look of the Kia Soul, though. I like that little boxy look of it. It's quite cool. I think the Kia Souls are really cute.
They've got soul for sure.
Yeah, and they probably come from Seoul.
Yeah, and
well, they are Korean, aren't they?
They are Korean. Yes,
they might very well come from Seoul.
Yeah. Laura says, and Paulie's always on the bottom. No, not normally. Paulie's usually. I'm
always on the bottom.
We usually Cliff's on the bottom normally.
Yeah, it just matters who comes first, Laura, and Paulie's always on the. Joins up to the show a lot quicker than I do because I work on the JIT system, right? The podcast goes on at 8. I'm always there at 7:59 and 30 seconds.
Yeah. So, but who knows? Like I said, we have to rewrite Paul's contract and work on our management style with Paul.
Yeah, that's right.
and see what's going to happen. Going to happen there, and I'm going to put this up too. There you go.
Yeah,
just as a reminder.
That's right. Yeah, you guys, if you can help us, we're trying to grow the YouTube channel. So if you can do that, if you can help us out a little bit, that'd be awesome. And we could put a few notices on the Facebook page, perhaps inviting people to come to the YouTube channel and subscribe to it. But yeah, that would be awesome if you do. So
yeah, easy to do. And then when you subscribe, as you can see in the top corner of our screen there's also a little notification bell. If you click on that, for those of you that are subscribed, obviously you get a notification to say, hey, if you forget, oh right, the Podlie podcast is tonight at 8:00. Must listen Mondays.
That's right. So Laura says, Cliff, you sneak in guy. Yeah, that's me, Laura. I'm telling you, I work on the JIT system. So if podcast at 8, I'm not coming at 7:30. It's not gonna happen. So, but Paulie's always here, probably 10 minutes early or something. So that's why he's always in the spot that I'm in right now. And then whoever comes last is on the bottom. So, and hey, let me tell you something. I don't mind being on the bottom. Well, I'm just saying. And Chai says, I tried, William. So she must mean tried changing her name or something. Is that what she said?
I'm assuming that she's trying to change or tried to change her name. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and I'm not completely sure. I'd have to go and figure out how to do it as well.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what, if I find out, I will, because I just got the notice like 2 weeks ago or something that YouTube now allows you to grab a handle and save it as your username or whatever you call it, right? So if I figure it out or if I have the time to go and look at it, I will let you know.
There you go. And Laura got a notification 30 minutes before. So see what happens when you subscribe? There you go.
There we go.
And Marvin, my wife gave me a notification 10 minutes before you started.
Well, Marvin, are you subscribed to the channel? And did you push the little bell icon? Because then you should have got the notification. And by the way, speaking of his wife, where is she? How come she's
I was just going to ask. Yeah, how come Marvin? Why is your wife not joining us and commenting?
Yeah,
you know, Marvin. She should be part of this. Yeah, Marvin. This should be part of it as well. I think we are going to have to change our management style here, Cliff.
Yeah, Marvin.
We've been collaborative for far too long.
Far too long. Now listen, we've been collaborative for too long. Now let me just say this as succinctly as I possibly can. Get your bloody ass on here.
All righty. Well, we're down to about a minute and a half here, Cliff.
A minute and a half. Well, listen, all you people that joined us today, thank you so much. Appreciate you being here on Must Listen Monday. And of course, always appreciate you commenting and, giving us your thoughts. And if not giving us your thoughts, certainly giving us a hard time. But the banter in itself is always interesting. And Laura says, I need to give Jeremy a hard time too. Laura, you most certainly do. Okay. If you want, I'll give you a cell phone number. I'm kidding.
And his PIN number.
I'm kidding. And his PIN number.
And Jeremy's PIN number.
He probably remembers mine. But anyway, thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Listen, if you could just share this and encourage people to come check it out. And you know what? They don't even have to come and watch it every Monday, but if they can subscribe, it helps us out. Okay. So thank you. And we appreciate that. And remember, all the back issues are on Facebook. And some back issues, of course, right here on YouTube. Right,
YouTube. Yeah, everyone that we do now, of course, is on YouTube. If you go to the YouTube channel and you click on the live link, you'll see all of the live streams that we've done lately. Now that we're getting caught up on YouTube. And again, if you can only have time to listen to the audio, soundsugarradio.com on Friday nights, 10 p.m., you can tune in and listen to just the audio portion right there. All right, everybody. It's been a slice, and it's episode 134 is in the books.
Stay happy.
Have a good evening, everybody. Talk to you all later.
Ciao, ciao.